I'm going back up to make my last stand. I'm gonna dust it off with my own hands. Black Mesa coming, old man keep running.
Well, what's up everybody? Welcome back to yet another video here. I'm going to be elaborating a little more on my previous video saying about I may have to shut my Hotshot company down in 2023, but for those that have been following me over the years, you know I'm not going anywhere. The Hotshot part may go away, but trucking is going to stay, and is going to stay for a long time. So this is part 2 of this. If you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch it, and we'll start here. So currently have 2 owner-operators and myself all running Hotshot. One running all cars, one owner-operator mixing between the two, and then there's me kind of doing whatever really pays the bills. So when I say I may be shutting down the Hotshot portion, I may keep owner-operators on that are running Hotshot, but for me, I may stray away from that depending on what happens. Kind of playing with the market and seeing what happens as far as rates, fuel, equipment prices. Thankfully, thank God, everything seems to be coming down right now. Fuel's coming down, used equipment prices are coming down, which is nice to see. Which, you know, lowers that barrier to entry when I'm talking about leaving Hotshot and getting into just running semi-trucks. Now, would I run semi-trucks over the road? I don't know. Personally, for me, my goal is to get out of the truck and be able to build the business from the office side and be able to build the business as far as, you know, just being a company owner, and you get a lot more done when you're not sitting behind the wheel. Although a lot of good thoughts do come from behind the wheel because you have a lot of time to think. A lot of good things comes out of that, and I'm never gonna stop driving, but it may be a little less with my kids growing up. You know, I got a 2.5-year-old, I got a 6-month-old. Being home at this point in their lives is really important, so the more home time I can get, the better. So when talking about shutting down the Hotshot portion, it may just be moving to semi-trucks and just kind of diversifying and seeing what makes sense. You know, in my area, the real big thing, and a lot of big companies that kind of had, you know, started from small fleets and whatnot, are hauling aggregate, you know, hauling concrete mix and things like that. And they're always looking for help. You know, they're always looking for trucks. They can't get enough. They have trailers, but they just need trucks. They need drivers, and they just can't get enough help. So it may turn into switching over to some of that, which I've talked about. You guys know I've been trying to purchase a twin screw truck, but the company I'm trying to buy that truck from, it's owned by somebody else. It's a sister company or something. So trying to get somebody that can, you know, do the bill of sale, process the payment, and then get me the title has been quite a task. And when I was doing a little research on the company the other day, I was kind of discouraged because the company that owns, or the logo that's on the truck, is a medical research company. And they actually had a breeding facility with like 4,000 beagles, and the beagles were all taken away from them. It's kind of like a nasty situation. So it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth about the company, but that has nothing to do with the equipment. But it's just kind of like, is this really going to go through? So I'm not really counting on that truck right now. So depending on where the market goes and how I can transition from either from more owner-operator based things to company drivers, and putting those company drivers in either Hotshots or semis. If you think about it from like a business owner standpoint, and you have somebody that's willing to be out on the road for weeks at a time and has a Class A, like think about what they would be more comfortable in, and they're going to be more comfortable in a semi with a sleeper every time. So I keep that into consideration, and I keep into consideration of like the way loads are paying for semi versus hotshot. How much is a driver going to be able to make? Because if I bring somebody onto my team, I want them to be able to make the most money possible. I want them and their family to be able to live comfortably. And that's a big thing on my end is when hiring people, I got to make sure I'm taking care of them on the money side because they're essentially counting on me. So since I've posted my last video, I've actually got a lot of guys reach out that are either with a company now or looking to get into Hotshot that have potential to be owner operators, which would be great. And I really appreciate all those people reaching out. So I'm going to give it probably to midsummer or so and see the way things are going as far as rates and pricing of equipment and fuel, and see what it makes sense to do, because in my eyes, being this far into the business, I can't go backwards. I just need to move forward, and that's going to be either go all in on one thing or just keep doing what I'm doing. And keep doing what I'm doing means me in the truck as much as I am, and trying to get out of the truck is not as much as possible, but more than I'd like to be able to take care of more customers and not just have to rely on myself to get them done, because sometimes I run myself thin doing that. It's running all around, it's coming back empty real quick just so I can take care of a regular customer, which ends up costing me money because I'm running empty. I'm putting miles on my equipment and with nothing on the deck, which means no revenue. So we'll see what happens. But I think I'm gonna give it to the summertime. Things start warming up. Businesses keep moving forward as we're coming out of the past. Everything seems to be screwed up from there, and unfortunately, years later, it's still screwed up from that. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see where we go from there. But I'm not getting out of trucking. I don't think I could ever get out of trucking. It's the biggest passion of mine, because if I'm not, like, I'm sitting at my desk right now, I'm watching trucking videos, I'm watching, other people on YouTube and learning and growing and seeing what other people are doing, watching interviews with companies that have, fleets of vehicles, seeing where they did the right things. And it's just like, if I'm going to do something for the rest of my life, I need to be passionate about it. And this is what I'm passionate about. So we'll see you guys on the next video, and we'll see where the rest of